taking a break from Jurassic World Evolution, showing you something newer here. Now, if you haven't guessed, by this great big pretty monstrosity back here, we're going to be taking a look at the new BattleTech game. Well, relatively new. It's only been out for a couple months, couple weeks, something like that. Now, of course, there are going to be spoilers in this little view, as I'm well over 100 weeks into the game. Not even remotely halfway through the campaign yet, but we'll get to that in a moment. So, first up, this is your Argo. Now, when you first start out the game, you start out in this little thing attached to the side here, this little leopard here. You start out as a mercenary company in severe financial difficulties, owing debts to everybody and their little brother. But shortly through the, after the first few primary missions, you unlock this great big monstrosity. A request to set up a live shooting range. Reduces the pressure, safe target pistols. Indoor firing range. Nah, go ahead. Won't hurt nothing. What did you do, Medusa? What did you do? Darius catches glitch toting a gyro slug rifle and explosive ammunition. Well, yeah. That would not be a good thing. Using explosive ammunition in a spaceship. Probably not the smartest thing they could have done. You know, for people who are trained to pilot giant two-legged death machines, it can be surprisingly stupid. Alright, let's keep moving. So yeah, like you can see, 151 weeks in, I'm moving from one planet to another right now. And if you're not familiar with the BattleTech universe, smaller ships like this guy here don't have their own FTL drives, faster than light drives. So they have to travel at sublight until they reach one of these jump ships, and then attach to it, and then jump from system to system. So just travel time from planet to edge of system, and then from edge of system back to the new planet can take several weeks. Several days to several weeks, depending on the system. The jump ships are all essentially neutral. They'll take anybody who pays them. From what I've been able to gather, the owners of the jump ships like to stay out of any conflicts because those great big jump ships are rather expensive and completely and totally unarmed. So, you wouldn't want to risk something like that. So we're here at Weldry and ready to proceed with the contract. So let's get down to the surface. See what kind of mess I can get stuck into. So I'm a little ways into it, like I said. I've got a nice collection of entry-level heavy mechs, 65 to 70 tons. Just retiring the last of my mediums, which would be this Kintaro up here. As far as how I've built my mechs here, I've got an Orion, which I'm using as a missile boat, long-range missiles all down the line. Nothing too fancy. This Thunderbolt here is just lasers. Absurd amounts of lasers. Same with the Leviathan and Black Knight over here. Just a whole mess of lasers. Now the problem with the lasers is they're energy weapons, so they overheat. And especially on hot planets, that means you can risk damaging or even shutting down your mech entirely if you're not careful. Grasshopper is also runs a little hot with multiple medium lasers and a ton of machine guns. But this guy I can get away with it a little better because the Grasshopper is built primarily as a melee mech. And of course, punching something doesn't build up near as much heat as unloading a shit ton of lasers into it. So we're going to be taking a look at a recovery mission. Basically, the backstory of this mission is there's an artist on this planet who created a painting that was viewed as heretical somehow. Yeah. Favorite painter has been accused of heresy by the system's religious police. The zealots are propped up by foreign pirate agents. He'll be extradited to face trial and likely execution in pirate territory. can't allow that to happen, but we don't want to incur reprisal from the religious leaders. That's where you come in. And since it's not letting me scroll down for some damn reason, basically go in, recover dude, recover his painting, and get the hell out of Dodge before he gets brutally murdered. Since I'm up against pirates, this shouldn't be too ugly. Get a better look at that leopard coming down right here. Yeah, when you start out, that's all you got. You don't have that great big pretty Argo that you were taking a look at up in orbit. Alright, so that's where I need to extract the painting from, and the artist, and the mechs are probably down there.
Here we go.
Okay, so painter here, painting here. Let's take a look. Alright. So, if I advance to get the painting first, I'll have a couple branches of cover to stay into the entire time. Yeah, that'll probably be best. Painting, painter, and then out. So, let's get a move on.
Heading out. Got it.
Shouldn't have to worry about too much overheating here on the highlands. They're not, at least it's not a desert planet or a vacuum. So they won't overheat near as hard on this map as they would on some others. So I should get a couple good shots of laser fire out of any of my mechs before I have to worry about them overheating.
Ready for orders. Waiting on you, Commander.
A little bit later. Behemoth in that LRM boat. Bitch stole my name. She's usually, I save her to move last, because once I spot somebody like here,
Receiving you.
I'll have somebody with the sensor lock ability like good old Decker here move up, spot that sumbitch, so I can start raining missiles on him.
Moving out.
Alright, let's see what we're dealing with. We've got two to deal with, a 55-tonner and a 65-tonner. I'm going to focus on the 65-tonner first, see what we're dealing
Sensors
with.
locked on.
A
Okay.
Jaeger mech, alright. A bunch of autocannons on him, so he has some pretty ugly firepower on him. I want to deal with it as quick as possible. If I can flank around him and take his arms off, the Jaeger mech has a large portion of its weaponry in its arms, so it's a little risky moving him out to be exposed like this, but grasshoppers have fairly solid forward armor, so shouldn't be too much drama. And we're gonna hit. Well, he's giving me a side shot on the Wolverine, so I can't say no to that.
On it.
Should have stripped most of the armor off of probably that right arm, maybe that right torso.
Yes, Commander.
Alright, missile boat is up. So let's ruin this Jaeger mech's entire day with the good old-fashioned impact of 50 long-range missiles. As you can see, each individual missile isn't doing a whole shit ton of damage, but each individual missile is staggering. It is causing stability damage, which is that small bar underneath here.
Light damage,
Red bar is
Commander.
heat, this bar underneath is
What
stability.
can I do for you?
And as you can see on him, he's got 2 full pips of stability damage, which increase the chance of just knocking his silly ass over. Let's see if I can get on this guy's flank. Here, I'll be able to hit that Jaeger mech in his side arc, which means I can concentrate fire against that arm and leg, and perhaps do some serious damage to him.
Here we go.
Now he is braced, so of course that's going to be in trouble.
Let's go.
But I ignited his ammo, blew that arm off completely, damaged the pilot, took the arm and the torso off of him. So essentially cut his weaponry in half, which is very, very nice. It's a little LRM boat down there. Not carrying a bunch of them. but it's definitely something we'll have to deal with a little bit later. And then last but not least, another one of my laser carriers back here. From this range, I'll probably only be able to engage with my large lasers this guy has. A lot of folks don't like using the large lasers, but this is the one of the situations where they shine through, because my mediums can't hit that far out.
Engaging target.
There we go. Now you might have seen that the numbers that came up from those hits were both red. That means that there was no armor that took those hits. I punched through his armor, and those were 25 points and then 20 points worth of structural damage to his internals. Meaning this Wolverine's right side is hurting
Minor damage, Commander.
something
Nothing
fierce.
to see here.
Got an 80-ton vehicle. It's a little bit of a concern. The little 35 is just essentially like an LAV with a missile rack on it.
Commander.
Very lightly armored, quick, very easy to kill.
Acknowledged.
That 80-tonner, on the other hand, something's going to be a little bit more intimidating. You don't want to ignore the vehicles. You think that in a game with big-ass stompy mech monsters running a boot, that
Giving him everything I've got.
little LAVs and tanks would be that intimidating, but that's not entirely the case. They can still carry a significant amount of firepower and can cause you a lot of havoc if you're foolish enough to ignore them. Got another 60-ton mech coming in from the side. Alright, let's see here. There we go. Trying to get that, trying to chase down that Jaeger mech before it has a chance to run away. Now, I'd like to be able to take the Jaeger mech out without destroying its central torso. If I can do that, I can actually capture its... I can actually salvage it and use it on my own, but I don't think I'm going to get a chance to do that. This is a bad angle to hit it on, and I don't really have a choice to dick around. You know what, let's just finish off this Wolverine. Got a good angle on him. This much firepower this close, there's probably not going to be too much left of him. Yep. Injured his pilot, blew his right torso off. So the nice thing about hitting the torsos, right torso and left torso, is it, of course, when you destroy that, it takes the corresponding arm with it. And some mechs carry a large portion of their weapons on their arms. Not all of them, but some.
Roger.
That Jaeger mech and a medium blackjack are both examples of mechs that carry a large percentage of their weaponry on their arms. Now, what do we have here? I could probably decimate that Jaeger mech right now. I could probably flatline him. Or I could do the same to the Wolverine. Since this guy doesn't have multi-target, it's one or the other. So I don't need to capture the Wolverine, it's relatively cheap. So I do want to try and capture that Jaeger mech, so we'll just get the Wolverine out of the fight. There goes his right leg. Leg damage will, as you'll see here, cause these some bitches to fall over, which will hurt the pilot. Because, you know, a 65-ton metal monstrosity tipping over and falling to the ground will rattle the pilot just a wee bit. Pilot will have a bad day. And as you can see, my grasshopper's getting close to overheating, but he's not quite there yet, so it's nothing I need to worry about at the immediate moment. Let's see here. Get both right here. I might be far enough out so that I can only get the large lasers again, but we'll see. Yeah, large lasers only, so multi-target's not a point. So we'll do a precision strike on this Jaeger and try to snipe his head. Only get a 5% bonus to hitting his head. You know what, let's go leg. If I can take that leg and knock him down, that'll work.
Engaging target.
Please work. Damn it. Damaged the leg, but not quite enough. He's still standing. And the Wolverine's going to get up. Be a bit of an issue. But as you can see, the Wolverine's backing off. It's taking severe damage. It's almost out of the fight, and it knows it. Which is a nice touch. Your enemies aren't suicidal. They won't keep running.
Warning.
Once they're at a point
Enemy
where
sensor lock detected.
they won't just mindlessly attack. Once they're in a fight that they know they're losing, they'll back off. Which is always a nice touch to have enemies that actually respond to something approaching intelligence. Yeah, Thunderbolt's got good armor. That all got soaked by armor, so it's nothing to worry about yet. Here comes another Wolverine. Alright, so I think my right arm, maybe right torso are looking a little battered.
This is getting serious.
So I'm going to have to be a little more careful going in.
Good to go.
Alright. So with those two, I can split fire between them. I want to be kind of careful with that Jaeger mech. So I'm going to give the Jaeger mech 20 missiles, and the Wolverine that I'm not so worried about is going to be 30. Hopefully you don't pop center torso. It's the only thing I'm worried about on that Jaeger mech. Wolverine can die though, I'm not worried about it. Yep, there goes its center torso, toasted.
Enemy down.
Done! Got him in. Comes a 60-ton mech. Don't know what you are yet. We'll find out very shortly though.
Commander?
Alright, so yeah. You can see down here, looks like right arm is beat to shit. So we're gonna angle it so that my right arm stays completely and totally out of their fire arcs.
Right, Commander.
I'm also gonna want to be very careful with the Jaeger mech. Left leg. I don't want to hit it with everything. What's its structural looking like? It's got 2. I get 1 hit on that left leg and it's toast. I'd need to get 2 solid hits to pop the center torso, so with a called shot to the left leg, there's a good chance that 1 or 2 of those shots will at least hit there. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Damn it! Exactly what I didn't want. If it had just been that leg damage, that would have been fine. I would have knocked him over, hurt the pilot again, potentially knocked the pilot out, and I'd have been able to salvage that Jaeger mech, but
Ready for orders.
since that shot hit the, since 2 of those lasers apparently were enough to hit that center torso, there's enough to knock him out. On the left flank here, yeah, I don't want to shoot all these lasers because it'll turn me completely off, but we'll try a headshot. Headshots you only get a 3% bonus to, so you'll very rarely, if ever, actually hit a headshot. But in a situation like this, you know what? Worth the chance. If I get lucky, I'll take him down. I hit the head, injure the pilot.
Solid connection on that one. The heat is frying my internals.
Yeah. Here comes that Striker, I think is what they're called. Is that 35-tonner over there? LAV with an LRM missile pod on it.
Holding.
Little 6-wheeled thing. They're not much of a threat. Marshlands. Give me better cooling, but no target. Anything over here I can see? Nope. You know what? Yeah, we'll set you up in the marshlands. Better stability, but no cooling bonus. You know what? No. We're going to go ahead and get you around the corner. Get that mountain between you.
Full throttle.
Next turn, he'll be in a better, significantly better position to actually do some damage. I'm not entirely certain what that great big 80-ton monster is, and I'm fairly certain I don't want to find out.
Standing by.
Probably carrying a shit ton of weaponry.
Position confirmed.
got line of sight on the one little Wolverine down there, so I'll go ahead and blink him out of existence. 50 LRMs. Like I said, each individual LRM's not going to do a lot of damage, but for 50 of them, yeah. Right arm work, torso, ammo explosion. His entire day was fucking ruined, and almost knocked his ass on the ground. Yeah, unsteady, lost his evasive. He's a 3.5 bars of stability damage.
Good to go.
So yeah, he was smart to try and pull back. There's not far he can go, and he certainly isn't going to escape.
Affirmative.
But running was the only intelligent choice he had available to him. Won't make any difference though. He'll probably die right here. Oh, nope, that's his, I was misreading it. He still has his left arm, so he's able to soak a lot of all that laser fire. Quick draw, alright. It's a decent medium mech, I believe. Not worth the salvage, but
Orders?
if I get him, I can sell him off. You know what? This is probably a really, really bad idea. But it'll be a lot of fun. Get him! Hi, buddy. How's it going? Head hit, pilot injured, blew his left torso off, side torso destroyed, pilot injured. Yeah. That little mech just had a very, very bad day. That's another LRM boat down there, probably another striker. 35 ton, yeah. Ain't much. So let's see what I can get here. I can get all the lights, put some fire into that. I can get all the vehicles from right here. If I can get rid of that 80-ton monstrosity right now, that would make my life a lot easier. So I'm gonna precision strike that ugly son of a bitch, that demolisher. Looking at forward hitting, so turret, 72 hit the front. What's his armor look like on the front? Already taken some armor damage, so there's a chance I can punch through.
All weapons committed.
Damn. Nope, got him. Nice, nice. So that vehicle, Demolisher, had some very ugly guns on him, but he's out of the fight before he could even fire. My enthusiasm did put my Grasshopper there in a bad position. He's flanked and in close to too many enemies. But I should be able to get him some support before the enemy has a chance to take full advantage of that. Because that Wolverine, he's gonna probably, looks like, yeah, he's gonna focus that right arm.
Losing lots of armor.
Yeah. Like I said before I did it, that might have been a very bad idea, but it hammered the ever-living shit out of that quick draw. Please don't knock him down. That's all I gotta say. He's still on his feet, but just
Not much
barely.
armor left in that location.
Stick around to my turn and we'll get you out of there, dude. Alright. Let's go ahead and flatline this quick draw. I'll be on his ass. He'll probably be dead after this, to be honest.
All weapons are go.
LRM hit. I'd be surprised. He'll definitely be on his back. He might be destroyed. Destroyed, yep. There we go.
Hostile eliminated.
Probably a little bit of overkill there, but hey, it works. Shit. That LRM strike might be enough to knock me down.
They've blown past my armor.
Yep, shit. Okay. That's what I was... Yeah, that was the risk of me doing what I did.
Waiting for orders.
But... should be able to deal with this without too much trouble. If I can take that forward Wolverine down, and I should be able to. A little striker there is not a serious threat. So, yeah, let's go ahead and alpha strike this son of a bitch.
Roger that.
Hey, Wolvie, guess what? You're about to have a very bad day. Damn it.
That's a critical hit.
Well, still blew through the last of his armor. He's almost completely out of armor, so... inflicted some
damage on that hit.
slight damage, and he missed the called shot to my head, which is a very, very good thing. Alright. Let's take a look at this Wolverine. Phase, I'll be hitting him on his right side. So I've got a clear shot straight to his center torso. I cracked that, he's done. 68 damage. This guy's pretty much brand new in the fight. What to do, what to do. Well, you've already acted, you're not a threat. Alright. Multi-target here and here. And we're gonna do one of these. Both my larges and 2 of my mediums into that Wolverine. That should be more than enough to finish his ass off. And 3 mediums to pull some more armor off that other Wolverine.
Engaging multiple targets.
Yep, right leg is gone. And center torso, good. That Wolvie is toasted. And this one just lost another 60 points of armor.
Yes, Commander.
Perfect, perfect. That was enough to get my grasshopper
Okay.
up off his back.
Back in the fight.
And yeah, let's get rid of that
On
little
my
shit.
way.
Hey you, little LRM bitch.
Locked on
Guess
for
what?
physical attack.
Squish! I can't add a bunch of machine gun fire just to add insult to injury.
One for the scrap heap.
Not only am I going to stomp on you, I'm going to blow your corpse to tiny little pieces. That Wolverine's not done yet. I think my left side armor was looking pretty good though. Grasshopper can take that hit without too much drama.
Armor breach. Internal damage.
And that Wolverine certainly isn't going to survive the rest of this turn. Yeah, we're going to want to cool down here before too long. Not going to overheat,
Firing
but
at full salvo.
definitely going to have to take a turn to brace and cool down next turn. Alright, staggered the son of a bitch, punched through that right side armor. Yeah, and that guy down there is just another one of those little strikers that I
I'm
just
under heavy
stomped on.
fire.
It's not a serious threat.
Good to go.
Matter of fact, I might be able to move glitch down to hit it right now. Yup.
Moving to position.
Don't have much heat to work with, but those strikers don't have much armor, so they're not a big problem. Not gonna overheat there, so that should be enough to finish it. Barring a strike of very bad luck. Beautiful, beautiful. All that's left is that last Wolverine who's a little beat to shit.
Getting pretty hot in here, Commander.
Yeah, both your legs are almost gone, so I don't want to do it. I was thinking about doing another death from above, but that would be a very, very silly thing to do. So instead, I'm just gonna punch you some bitch in the face. Come here, you. Did solid structural damage to something, don't know exactly what. Yep, hit his head, left
Critical hit,
torso
Commander.
and left armor gone, and knocked him down. Which will be another pilot injury. Then we got big old Leviathan gonna come up here, and you know what, let's just stomp the son of a bitch to death. I'm not gonna bother using... I'm not gonna even shoot him anymore.
Physical attack.
There goes your right arm.
Enemy mech. Critical damage detected.
The nice thing is the melee attacks also give your mechs a chance to cool down. So the guys who run especially heavy with energy weapons, which is most of my lance right now, by meleeing I give them that chance to cool down,
Orders.
vent some of their heat. Can also do it by bracing,
Holding
but
here.
yeah.
Got it.
I really do need to start building more ballistic weapon mechs. Because if this was on a desert planet or in a vacuum, where heat doesn't dissipate so well, I would have had some serious shutdowns, almost guaranteed.
Targeting for
But this will be the end of it. Punch him in the back, bunch of machine gun fire right up his ass. Yep, there he goes. Center torso down.
mech destroyed.
Well, unfortunately, I popped the center torso on all my enemies. So, that's a little annoying. I'm not going to
Copy
get
that.
great salvage from any of them. But I will get some. So,
Coordinates received.
move up on this,
Position confirmed.
these two little outposts. I'll get the, like I said, I'll get the painting first. Should get the right side.
On my way.
Just brace everybody over
Sounds
here until we
smart.
get the,
Have the secondary asset, Commander. Bring it home.
perfect. Sprint up here to join your buddies while Thunderbolt here grabs the artist. I don't think I'm going to be encountering any reinforcements, but you never know.
The asset is in hand,
Stabilizing.
Commander.
Engaging
Yeah,
core
that's it.
system.
Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Missions are always nice where you have a chance to finish off all the enemies before you can go for the main objectives. Might have played out differently if they were actively attacking the structures. If they were trying to eliminate the artist and his masterpiece, but since they were trying to capture him, I was able to take them out of the fight before I went for him. Not getting a lot of money out of these, but that's alright. I went for primary salvage rights on this mission in the hope that I would get a vehicle worth salvaging. But other than a bunch of Wolverine parts, and well, it'll be enough to finish off my Jaeger mech. Yeah, 2 out of 3, this will count as the third. And you'll give me a completed Wolverine that I can sell. 60-ton quick draw. Let's see if we got anything decent in here. I saw a couple pluses in the line, but no triples. Plus accuracy, medium laser, or an AC-20 damage and stab. That's actually a really good one, especially since I've been thinking about doing some rework on my ballistics. So, yeah, ended up with a couple Wolverine parts anyways. So I'll get 2 fully assembled mechs out of this, and a bunch of other crap I can sell off. So yeah, that's a pretty good example of what BattleTech offers as far as the battles themselves go. Pop over and take a quick look into the garage so we can see how refitting the mechs I have would work. But that's fairly simple, just drag and drop with tonnage restrictions and hardpoint restrictions, of course. That's not hard to explain.
That mech you wanted is back online.
There's a description of the Wolverine that I just pulled out, and the Jaeger Mech A. Decent armor, indirect fire mech. It's a support mech, alright. So I didn't take any severe structural damage on anything. I took some minor interior damage on my Thunderbolt, but that was it. And the Grasshopper because of that very silly and fairly pointless death from above attack I did. Beat the shit out of his legs, but he's still alive. So let's take a look at this Jaeger mech I just got here. As you can see, these are the list of the mechs that were ready. I've upgraded to the point where I can have 12 right now. I think the max is either 18 or 24. I think it's 18. What do you get? Get some good LRMs starting out. This is the list of the hard points up here. How many of what weapons the thing can carry, which is further broken down here by where those weapons can be attached. So this guy can carry up to 4 missiles, which is not bad. 65-ton mech, I can put up to 4 missiles on him. Arms and arms. 2 lasers, 2 autocannons, and 2-point defense, which would include flamers, machine guns, small lasers. Let's see here. I'm gonna take a look and see what I can do as far as making this thing a solid LRM boat, because you saw my Orion right now. It's definitely functional. But if I can get more missiles, currently running 50, I believe. So right here, I could do 60. Do 60 missiles. Put armor ammo in the legs, least likely to get blown off. No secondary weapons. If I'd go with just 60 LRMs, and with the added spot, I could upgrade these to LRM 20s, which would give me 80. I'd have to dish a ton of ammo in for these guys, though. Go with 6 LRM ammos. And then you see the run into the problem immediately. We're just turning it into an LRM boat. I'm already overweighted. Yeah. That would leave me with exceptionally light armor on this thing in order to get a few more tons of long-range missiles. Now, of course, if you play it right, your LRM boat will never be in the fight, but you still want it to have some ammo just to be, or some armor just to be safe. So for now, I probably won't do this because looking at my was it the 1K? I think it was the 1K. Nope, it was the Oni 1V. Yeah, there we go. Looking at this guy, we can see I already have got the 2 LRM-15s and an LRM-20. 4 tons of ammo, and almost maxed armor. So with those 4 15s, I'd only be gaining 10 more missiles per volley maximum, but it would be significantly lighter armored. So I'll probably leave the Orion as my missile boat right now. 65-ton Jaeger mech. Is that a medium? No, it's a heavy, but it's just barely a heavy. So I'll fiddle around with that, see if I can find a way to turn it into something useful. My little Kintaro over here is pretty much ready to be retired. Yeah, I'll probably make you a... Because right now my Kintaro, as you can see, is a short-range missile boat. Good for stripping armor and knocking things down. But the 10 tons of better capacity on the Jaeger mech and those 4 missile hardpoints, I could just put SRMs instead of LRMs on the Jaeger mechs. I could use it as my new SRM boat. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do with the Jaeger mech. Well, that'll just about do it for this video. Taking a look here at BattleTech. I'll probably be back to Jurassic World, 3rd or 4th Island next week. But I wanted to do something a little different this week and take a look at this. As always, folks, thanks for watching. Keep an eye on the channel as we get more videos up. And I'll see you then.